This is how it goes. When you're with a guy, you get fake jewelry and love. The second time you get real jewelry and you don't get any love.
Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
Welcome back to another episode of Next to Madison. I'm your host, Madison Malloy, and on today's episode, I have got somebody that I have been a fan of for years. I have followed her. She has given amazing advice. I'm always tuning into her videos, and so are millions and millions of others. This woman has done it all. She has pioneered Wall Street. She has written books. She has been on the club. She has more energy than most young people I know, and it is so impressive. This interview is fun. It's got great advice, lots of laughs, and it is absolutely amazing. So we have got Nikki Haskell in the house, in studio, and right after this brief message, we will be back with this amazing guest and this unbelievable story.
Hi, it's your host, Madison Malloy. For those of you who don't know, I've written and created a powerful collection of books to help you build confidence, shift your mindset, and attract the life you truly want. From Time to Lighten the F Up, to Affirm and Flourish, Color Your Way to Abundance, and more. These aren't just books, they're tools for transformation. Grab a copy now on Amazon or at madisonmalloy.com. Now back to the show.
All right, we are back with our amazing guest on this very exciting episode of Next to Madison. I have a woman here, which I mentioned in the introduction, that I've been a fan of for years. I have watched her videos to get me through tough times. She has motivated me to be even better and to reach my highest level of confidence. And I'm so honored that I have got Nikki Haskell in the studio. She was one of the first 5 stockbrokers on Wall Street. So impressive. Had her own television show. She's written books. She is a woman who has done it all and has now become a grand influencer, amounting millions and millions and millions of views all over social media. And so many young people are turning to her to ask, what do I do with my life? Nikki, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me. I really am excited about being on.
Yes,
and it's
me
fun
too.
that you're in Nashville.
Yes, and you're in Beverly Hills. I love Beverly Hills.
It's interesting being here, I must say.
Yes.
But I live in New York too, so I go back and forth.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So you get a little, some bad weather, some good weather, and a whole gamut of things.
Well, I was born in Chicago, brought up in Beverly Hills, but then I moved to New York when I became a stockbroker.
Yeah.
And then I started my television show, and I was the first person that ever shot at Studio 54. And the only person, because there wasn't anybody but me.
That's amazing. So talk about the Studio 54 days, because all the younger generations are fascinated by what went on there. Like, what was it really like?
It was interesting because I was a disco junkie my whole life. When I grew up in Beverly Hills, the first club was called the Daisy. And that was on Rodeo Drive, and it was the greatest club. I mean, everybody went there. Sinatra went there, Warren Beatty, every star, Jack Nicholson, everybody went to this club. And I got completely addicted to. Actually, my ex-husband, who I remarried, said the only reason I remarried him was because he joined the Daisy, which is true. And then when I moved to New York, I belonged to a club called Le Club. It was a private supper club. And if I dated someone and they didn't want to go to the Daisy, and they didn't want to go to the club, that was it. They were finished.
Oh my gosh!
And then, so that was in the '60s, and it actually hung in there. But it was a supper club. Men wore suits and ties. Women all got dressed up in cocktail dresses. It was a supper club. You could have dinner there and dancing. It was divine.
Oh my God.
And then with the night they opened Studio 54, I received a black box filled with confetti, a little plastic box, and it said, "You're invited to the opening of Studio 54." And Ivana Trump and Donald had just gotten married. And I called, they just gotten back from their honeymoon. And I said, "Oh, come with me tonight. We were going to Elaine's for dinner." I said, "Come with me tonight. I'm going to the opening of Studio 54. But Donald, he was never a club person. So we went at 10 o'clock at night. No, clubs don't open until 12 o'clock at night. So we went at 10 o'clock at night. We were knocking on the door. Finally, they were still painting. They were still painting the club.
That's
And
amazing.
there was no music playing or anything. So when we walked in, they were just starting Studio 54. So we got there and Margot Hemingway was there, Brooke Shields was there, but there was only about 150 people. I mean, the studio held 2,000 people like it was nothing. And we waited and waited and waited. And Donald got very, bored with the whole thing. And we opened up the door, and there were thousands of people all the way around the block trying to get in. And there were so many people, they couldn't open the door. And that's why it became so famous, because nobody could get in. And then by overnight, studio was a hit.
That's amazing. So were you there almost every weekend then?
I was there every night.
Are you? How did you have the energy for that?
Oh, I love to go. I take disco naps. I invented the disco nap. I used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, become a stockbroker. I'd
Yeah.
go to the gym, then I'd come home around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and sleep till about 8 o'clock at night and go out for dinner, and then go to studio, and then go to other clubs too. I went to the club too.
So, and
I
then
would
you would get back up for work for Wall Street?
right.
That's
I got,
amazing.
but I'm a night owl.
Yeah. I mean, so were there any like drugs helping you stay up at this time? Because it was the 80s.
I never did any drugs.
Oh, that's amazing. So you just
Yeah,
had this like unlimited energy. So
right.
how long were you on Wall Street before you said, you know what, I'm gonna go in a
10
different
years.
direction? 10 years. Okay.
For 10 years, then I quit. And then Prince Egon von Furstenberg came to me and said, how would you like to be the co-host of this talk show they want me to do? And then we decided we were going to do it together. And I went off to the Cannes Film Festival. And I kept looking around and saying, there's nobody here shooting this. They should be shooting this. They should be shooting the Grand Prix. And then Aegon called and said he didn't want to do the show. So they made it my show. Except
Wow.
they wanted to shoot it in the studio, and I wanted to shoot it on location. And I wanted to shoot it at Studio 54. So I was friendly with Steve Rebell, and he said it was okay for me to shoot at studio. I did a party for uh, um, at a birthday party at Studio 54, and we shot it. Studio was only open 42 months, and it closed. So I was glad that you got to do things right away. You can't wait to do it.
Yeah.
So I shot several shows at studio that had closed. And then there were other clubs who were open. There was a club open by the name of the Underground. And I give a party there every Friday night. I have for stars or people who were writing a book or people who were making movies. I did a party there every Friday night. And that's how the television show got on the air.
That's
And I gave
amazing.
great parties. It was so much fun. Studio was closed for 2 years. And then because Steve Rebell and Ian Schrager were in jail, because Steve Rebell was on television, said, oh, there's ceilings filled with bags with money in it. So they came over, and sure enough, there were bags of money in the ceiling, and they opened up the books, and cocaine fell out of it, and they closed the club. So that was the end of Studio 54. So when they were in jail, um, a man came along and he bought Studio 54 and he opened studio. And I started going back. I mean, it was great. You really can't heat the souffle the way it was at the beginning.
Yeah.
And, but it was still fabulous. I mean, I had the greatest time. I gave parties. People used to say to me, where do you live? I say, I live in Studio 54, but I keep an apartment on 68th Street. I was totally addicted to going dancing every night. And there were lots of other clubs. There was Club A and there was Regine's. Regine owned this fabulous club. So with lots of clubs. I mean, I was a real club person.
I mean, that's amazing.
I would be one now, but there's no clubs.
Do you ever think about opening a club?
No, I don't want to open a club. It's the last thing I want to do. I just want to go.
Exactly.
Actually, we did open a club in Beverly Hills called Tattoo after Mark Fleischman, who actually bought Studio 54, came to Beverly Hills and opened a club. But the problem is California has terrible liquor laws. Everything closes at 1. People don't go out for dinner till 12. So then if they don't get into the club, there's no way to make any money. Do you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
studio was open all night. So we kept it open for about a year and a half. Tattoo. I gave tons of parties. It was really fun. But I didn't have my television show at the time. Actually, I started, which was like the first real reality show. But we never got it on the air. It was called Live from Tattoo because I gave all the parties there and I shot them.
That's amazing.
Actually, I had Nicole's. I had everybody on the show. It was a great show.
Oh my
And Milton
gosh.
Berle, and everybody. It was
I mean,
fun.
what an amazing life you've lived. Like just the
And then
stories.
Then I had a product called Star Caps, and I had billboards all over Sunset Boulevard, and I gave big parties all over Sunset for my for my product. In fact, when you looked out of my window at the Sierra Towers, you could look down on Sunset Boulevard and see my billboard. So I had big billboard parties at my house. I had over 125 parties at my apartment. Well, I lived there for quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm a party. I have service for 100 people.
That's amazing. So who would during this like time, like who was like the most influential person that you partied with during these years?
Oh, I mean, when I went to the clubs,
Yeah.
well, I gave a party for Michael. I didn't give a party for Michael Jackson, but I gave a party at Studio 54, and Michael Jackson came to the party, and he had the tape. Nobody. This was long before videos were in, and we went on the bridge of Studio 54 and played Thriller, the video Thriller. Nobody had ever seen it before.
Wow.
We completely tore the walls down. They couldn't believe it. I was very friendly with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what an
I gave the party for Yul Brynner. Yul Brynner was the man that was in The King and I.
Okay, yeah.
And he was on Broadway. But he was very friendly with Michael Jackson because when Michael Jackson was on the road and The King and I was playing, he would go in and see The King and I. And that's how I became friendly with him. So he came to New York to launch the video, to launch the album, The Thriller. And he came to the party. I redid Studio 54, like the set from The King and I. And Michael came to the party, and we took him up on the bridge of Studio 54. No, the back of the club, we did a whole big party. But the front of the club where all the people were, they didn't even know Michael Jackson was there. So he pulled the curtain aside and put the video in of Thriller. They were like tearing their hair out. It was fabulous.
Wow.
And then I once again rekindled my friendship with Michael Jackson. He was down in Florida for the film festival, for the Palm Beach Film Festival. I was very close with a man by the name of Robert Evans. He did The Godfather 1, Godfather 2.
Wow, yeah.
And he did a movie called The Kid Stays in the Picture. So they gave a big party down in Miami for the film festival. And Michael Jackson was down there. We went there and he called me and he said to me, will you go with me shopping tomorrow? So they came and picked me up in a limousine and he was dressed like Spider-Man. And I said, why are you dressed like Spider-Man? And he said, so nobody will recognize me. Everybody recognized me. There were like thousands of people in this shopping mall, like all over him.
That is amazing. So did you give him a style advice?
No, he did what he wanted to do. I mean, I was glad he was even with me. I'm not going to try to change. I was so shocked. I mean, when was the last time you went out with somebody who's dressed like Spider-Man?
Never, for me.
So there you are. They opened the door and there he was. I went, Spider-Man.
That is unbelievable. So when did Studio 54 officially close?
So it opened in 1967. So it made it through the mid 80s.
Okay, and what was the final? What was the final straw that like shut it down?
It's just sort of the man that owned it decided he was going to open a club in another place, and he opened Tattoo in New York, and that was very popular. And then he
Okay.
moved to LA and he opened a club called Tattoo in LA.
Yeah. Wait, so why
And
do you think that the clubs have kind of disappeared? They're just not as popular anymore today.
I don't know. I mean, I can't understand why there aren't more clubs. I really don't understand. First of all, in 1 second, you could go like that and bring back all the disco music. Disco music
Yeah.
is disco music.
Yeah.
It's going to live on forever. It's the best dance music there is. Yes, some of the music they have now is pretty good. There's a lot of talented people, but that old disco music, people run onto the dance floor.
Yes, they do.
Clubs are hard. First of all, California has terrible liquor laws because everything's closed at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
People don't go out till 12 o'clock. They have some clubs in New York, lounges and stuff. They just I don't know. They fell out of phase. They have They have quite a few clubs in Miami.
Yes. What's your favorite club in Miami?
Live.
Live. Oh, that's in what hotel is that? The Fountain Blue, right?
Right. It's great. I went to the opening night of that party, actually.
That's amazing. So you're still going to clubs to this day when
Well,
you can?
there's nobody that I go out with that goes. I mean, people go out for dinner at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. I'm used to going out. I'm used to going out at 10, 12 o'clock at night. I need a younger crowd.
Yeah. Well, you should come to Nashville and we can find some clubs I'm sure there's a few here. They might be honky tonks, but I think you'd have a good time.
I have a good time everywhere I go.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. Like, what an unbelievable story. But you also said you were married and then you got divorced and then remarried. So did you
Right.
meet your husband at Studio 54, or in the club scene?
No, I met him long before studio. He was gone before studio opened. I married him twice.
And
And
then, so you guys got divorced twice before 1967.
right.
Okay. And did you get married after that again, or
No.
no? Did you want to get married, or?
But I just never met anybody that I wanted to marry.
Yeah.
I wanted to marry me.
Yeah. And do you have any regrets about that, or are you like, no?
I don't have any regrets about my life.
I love that. No, because so many women, I think, are embracing the singleness, and dating's become so difficult. And there was a recent article that came out that said women that are not married are happier. Men are not, but women are.
Men are happy that they're not married.
No, men are happier if they're married. Women are happier if they're not married.
Well, I'll tell you what killed the whole thing was the Me Too thing. The Me Too killed men. Don't date women. They don't date their secretaries or their girlfriends or whatever. They're afraid to date.
Yeah.
Dating's become hazardous.
Yeah. And that wasn't that long ago, the Me Too era.
I hang out at a lot of restaurants.
Okay.
And you go there and there are tables of women. Tables. I could never believe that. I wouldn't go out with a table of women forever. I go out with a table of guys, still to this day.
Yeah.
I don't hang out with groups of women.
Why is that?
I find them boring.
Yeah. So I feel like you're like me, like one of the guys a little bit.
I like guys. Most of my friends are men.
Yeah. That's amazing. And so
I have a lot of girlfriends too.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. My girlfriend gave this big birthday party and it was all women. And the only men that were there were the waiters. I said, bring the waiters in. They look so cute. Bring them into the. I mean, I think they look desperate.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And so are you open to dating now, like today, or no?
Why not? Why not?
I love that attitude. Yeah.
I haven't had a date in 10 years, but I go out every night. I have a lot of male single friends I go out with. And I'm fortunate for, actually, May 17th is my 85th birthday.
Wow, that's exciting.
And for my 80th birthday, the Beverly Hills Hotel gave me a party.
Aww.
I don't think they've ever given anybody a party, a lavish party. And my friend Josh Flagg gave me a Nikki Beach party. It was all done like Nikki Beach in San Tropez is a very big disco town.
Yeah.
Even lunch is disco. And my friend Eugenio Lopez, who has one of the most extraordinary homes in Beverly Hills, gave me the greatest Studio 54 party for my birthday. I'm always open for parties.
Oh my God, I love that. Because it keeps you young at heart, because you
Yes.
hear, and I've watched some of your videos on this too, and I witnessed my own friends saying it, and I've been guilty of it myself, to where they'll say, "Oh, we're too old for that. We're too old for this."
I'm not too old for anything.
Well, exactly. So that's such great advice, is like, it's all in your attitude. You're never too old for anything.
I think when you say you're too old, it's over.
I agree with you. I always
I
say,
think
like,
that
why not
when you
just
want,
live life?
people, I'm not like anybody else. I said today to a friend of mine, I think I'm probably an alien. I like to do things all the time, different things, and I really like to do things. I mean, I'm an artist. I
Yeah.
painted 150 watercolors at a big art show. I mean, I've done a million different things. I'm writing a book. It's called Overdressed When Naked. It's my memoirs, and it's going to be a screenplay. It's
I
sort of
love it.
a romantic comedy. It's got some bad times in there, but the good times outweigh the bad times. And I mean, when I was on television, I was the first person who bought fashion on television. I launched every designer: Oscar, Calvin, Halston, Terry Mugler, everybody. I mean, I've
Yeah.
always done. I did cooking segments. I did disco set. Every show had a disco segment in it. I have a
Okay.
huge pink market. Do you know what a pink market is?
Women?
Men.
Oh, I did not know that.
When you look at statistics,
Okay.
like I saw your statistics even. It's at 18 to 80.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're all women. They don't say that. They say men. They say men, women, other.
Yeah.
And I have gigantic. I have the best following in the world. I have a gay following. That's the pink dollar. They were the ones that spend the most money, love to
Yeah.
go to clubs, love to travel, right? Love to try to do adventurous things. They have the best and dress well. They spend the most
Mm-hmm.
amount of money on clothes, restaurants, clubs, and resorts. When guys get married and they just hang out at their house, I could never do that. I could never spend the rest of my life hanging out at the house. I go out every night.
That's it.
Tonight I'm going out. Last night was my girlfriend Nancy Davis's birthday,
Uh-huh.
and we went to see what are we going to see? The new Prada movie.
How was it?
It was like you were waiting for it to start. It never really started. It was okay.
I love that opinion. Yeah, I've still got to see it. But yeah, I know those movies where you're like, okay.
If you didn't see the other one, you would never know. It was, yeah, it was like, I don't know. The other one was fun and colorful, and this was neither fun nor colorful.
Okay, good.
But the acting was good, and I liked the people they chose for it, but the script could have been much better.
Yeah. Wait, because that recently came out, right?
I think it just opened, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what is a day in a typical type of day in your life? Like, what time do you wake up? I
I
think
wake up about
everyone's
5:30 in the morning.
okay.
I do a little exercise. I go to lunch usually at the Beverly Hills Hotel, or I go to Cipriani's, or I go up on Sunset someplace.
Okay.
I go out for dinner every night. I go to Craig's. I go to the Tower Bar. I go to Cipriani's. I go, to the Lou. I go to Mr. Chow's. I mean, I like going out. I hate staying. To me, staying home is like a punishment.
Yeah. No,
I hate
it's true.
staying home.
But nothing. They always say leave your house because nothing happens at home. You
It's
got to get
boring.
out
There's
there.
nothing to do.
Yeah, and so you're networking like crazy all the time and just meeting the most amazing people, I'm sure.
I'm very lucky. I meet a lot of people. Well, and it's been so. I work with the Limitless company, and they're the ones that took me and put me in the top spot on the internet. I mean, as I started Instagram and TikTok, I had 5,000 on Instagram and 10,000. No, I had 5,000 on TikTok and 10,000 on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
And I'm with the AJ Kumar. I had done. He was working with Josh Flagg, and he came to work with me, and he took me from 5,000 to 555,000 on TikTok, and on Instagram I'm 664,000. So I'm over a million. and I'm on YouTube.
Yeah.
Lots of my old shows they've been on Amazon Prime, and they were on a network called Freevee, and now they're going back on the air again. I'm probably going to take all the shows. I have 90 shows. And we're probably going to take all the shows and I'm going to put them on YouTube, all of them.
I think you absolutely should do that. That's amazing. And what your audience though on social media is a much younger audience.
But it's wild because I have the largest 18 to 45,
Okay.
and I have over 60.
Wow.
I have a small male audience, but a huge gay audience.
Uh-huh.
And it was very, very interesting because they show you the countries that you're in.
Yep.
So I got a call from Australian television. They asked me if I would come on and host one of the shows. And they have this phenomenal setup in Beverly Hills, in Century City. And I went over there. I said, "Why do you want me on your show?" They said, "You're number one in Australia." So the fact,
That's
you can see my
amazing.
statistics. We're everywhere from Spain to Korea. Like all over the world. It's amazing.
It is. So when you started doing the social media, what do you think it was that really just took off? Was it just the authenticity and the honesty and the advice? Like what was it that kind of was that breakthrough?
When I started off, I wanted it to look like the Nikki Haskell show.
Okay.
I wanted to do interviews and everything like a podcast, which I still haven't been able to put together. I don't understand why I can't. But the truth of the matter is, I found out that so many people today are really lost.
Mhm.
They don't know how to begin a relationship. They don't know how to get involved.
Yeah.
They don't know. I was shocked because one would think with everything that's available today that people would be much more sophisticated. They would be much more together, but they're not. And I get in the elevator and somebody's in the elevator and say, "We follow you all the time. We love you. We love your advice." I try to give people strong advice people aren't as confident in themselves as they should be.
And why do you think
There's
that
no
is?
confidence. I don't know. It's very strange. You would think that with everything that's available today, they'd be more confident, but they
Yeah.
aren't.
Well, I think it also is, social media is so prevalent and so in our face, and also these filters. So
I think, I think today, unfortunately, I hate to admit this, that people are very mean
mhm.
on social media. They go after people.
Yeah, they're
Um,
they're called keyboard trolls.
I've been very rarely does anybody say anything negative on my. Some people say, "Oh, you got on too much makeup and you're too old," and that dress is, who cares about it? And once in a while, somebody will make something negative. We erase them immediately.
Yeah, you don't
But
want
the
the
point,
energy.
but more than not, people are always very complimentary, and they're happy that I'm giving them good advice, that I'm telling them to be positive, that I'm telling them, to love their family and take care of themselves, and don't let people push you around. I hate that more than anything.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. I'm 5 foot. I'm 5'2". I was.
Okay.
I think of myself as being 6'2" and
Yeah.
very small boned. I'd hang around with men, women, athletes, and I think of myself as a big person.
Yeah.
A lot of people walk in a room and they get intimidated by where they are and who they're with. Honey, I've been with presidents from all over the world. I've been with everything from hookers to presidents to dignitaries. I get along with everybody.
I love that. No,
I
that's
don't get along. I don't get along that well with hookers because I think it's sort of a waste of time. But I get along with politicians. I get along with movie stars. I have tons of friends. Like yesterday, I run into them all the time. Everybody that was on my show. I have a really famous people that I'm friendly with, and I'm very fortunate. Like
that-
yesterday, I ran. You know who Billy Zane is?
yeah.
I'm mad for him. He was in a movie that my friend Robert Evans made called The Phantom, and I've become very friendly with him, and I just adore him. He was at the Beverly Hills Hotel yesterday, and
Oh.
I see everybody's here, and everybody's having I'm lucky that they're always very nice to me.
Yeah.
And I have a good time. And I gave so many parties and have so many friends. Hopefully, I'll get back into the party business again.
I think you should. Why not?
My birthday's coming. Watch out.
I know. I just want to be invited to one of your parties. They sound legendary.
They are. They're all fun. It's not necessarily where you are, it's who's at your party.
Amen.
Yes, of course, to be in a fabulous place makes a party, but in one that makes it better are the people that are there.
Yeah.
And I like to be with people that get along and have fun together. I mean, you go to a party and you're in this big house and everybody's boring and unattractive.
And stiff. Yeah, I've been to those parties where it's like, this isn't even fun.
I hate that. I always pick a good group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to this party last night that Nancy Davis gave. It was her birthday. She always puts together a good group.
Okay.
She makes it. You have to make an effort.
Yeah.
The only way that you're entertained is because you entertain other people.
Absolutely.
I have a fabulous friend named Kelly Day, and she entertains lavishly and has fabulous dinner parties at her house, and everybody loves her. If you don't make an effort, you don't get anything.
It's true. Yeah. And it's like life, you get what you put out, so to say.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I go, first of all, I'm a people person. So I go out of my way to really be nice to people. I like to make people feel good. If I can do things for them, I like to really try and help people out, introduce them to other people. I'm not a negative person.
Yeah.
To me, everything is great. Every day is shiny. Every day is fun. Some people get up and every day is horrible.
Oh,
I don't want to be around those people.
No, it's like a dark cloud is following them.
I think every day is going to be perfect. And it's up to me to make it perfect.
That is such great advice. I think if you come out of bed every morning and you're like, today's going to be an amazing day, and you expect it, that's exactly what's going to show up.
You have to make it amazing.
Yeah. And you are absolutely doing that, because there's so many times where people just be like, oh, I'm too tired today, or I'm exhausted, or today kicked my butt. But it's constantly telling yourself that.
You can get up and somebody can kick your butt and get on with the day.
Exactly.
I believe in overdressing and having a great time.
I love that. So how often do you go shopping?
Not often enough.
Yeah.
I was in Neiman Marcus the other day. I bought a couple cute outfits. But I mean, I have closets filled with clothes. Actually, I've been getting rid of a lot of my clothes. Because I'm unfortunately thin enough that I can get into old clothes. I pulled some old things out of the closet. Living in New York and living here, I have tons of clothes.
That's amazing. So I want to go back really quick before we go into the advice segment, because you made me laugh so hard. The hooker thing came out of left field, and I think it's just the funniest thing ever. How many hookers have you been around?
I haven't been around a lot of them, but there are a lot of them.
Because when you're going to these places, Cipriani.
The bars are filled with hookers. And I don't think they're doing so great because there aren't that many guys that are available that I know of.
So the Mark Hotel in New York.
Right. Is that a hooker bar?
Apparently it is. I would go in there and it's like, oh, there's so many hookers here. I can't even identify a hooker. I was like, do I look like a hooker? And they're like, no. I'm like,
it's probably, wouldn't that be funny if it's good to look like a hooker and not be a hooker?
I know, except for I used to have a joke when I was doing stand-up where I was like, we give so much, so much crap to.
So you do stand-up?
I did for a really long time, and now I'm doing more public speaking. But I had this joke where I said, we discredit hookers so much, but we need to give them more credit because they have figured out how to turn their pussy into a bank. Where mine's over here mine's operating as a nonprofit organization.
So why are you not a comedian anymore? I love that. I should have been a comedian.
I know.
Tell me a good joke.
I just told you the hooker joke where, I was like, my vagina is the nonprofit organization and their pussy's the bank. So I'm like, that's pretty smart. You know what? Because it's like we go out and meet men. Like, what do we get for it? Dinner?
Okay, so this is how it goes. When you're with a guy at the beginning, you get fake jewelry and real jewelry. You get fake jewelry and love. The second time you get real jewelry and you don't get any love. So you have to start out that way.
Like on a first date?
No, when you get married to someone and have a relationship,
Okay.
when you first meet somebody, you get fake jewelry and you have a romance.
Yeah.
And the second time around, you get real jewelry. You don't get anything else. So you got to choose.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
so this guy goes to the psychiatrist and he goes, I had this airplane and it crashed into the ocean. He said, then I had this boat and it sunk. He said, then I left. Well, it was just this woman and she left me. And he said, you just remember, for flies, floats, or fucks, rent it.
It's that's amazing. That's just great life advice, right? Flies, fucks.
That's it.
Okay, so let's go into the advice segment because you are so good at this stuff. Like when you're very confident, and a lot of young people and people in general are lacking confidence. Like, what would be your advice to somebody who wants to be more confident? Is it something you're born with, or is it something you can learn to be?
It's funny. I was having this conversation last night. I think you're born with it.
Yeah.
People call me pushy, and I'm pushy. That's it. That's
Yeah.
where I got where I am. If you sit around and wait for somebody to take care of you, it'll never happen. You have to be assertive. I call it a little pushy, but I get the job done. You have to be assertive. You have to get the job you want, wear the dress that you want, go to the event that you want, and make friends with the people you want. You can't wait around for people to come to you. You have to go to them and you have to bring something to the table. You have to bring the party. You have to introduce them to people. A lot of people that are very successful have a boring life. You have to turn their life into something exciting.
That's very well said. So if people aren't born with confidence, is it just acting as if to become more confident?
Well, I don't. You can only become more confident if you do things that people praise you for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
So I was born in Chicago and brought up in Beverly Hills. So I went to schools in Beverly Hills. I went to Beverly Hills High School.
Okay.
And there were a lot of people there that weren't confident. It was really wild. I was surprised but they got it together as they got older. You know what I'm saying? They got a good job.
Yeah.
They met an important you have to assert yourself. You can't really sit around for people to make you confident. You have to make yourself confident. You have to do things in life that give you confidence. Write a book, start a company, get involved in a business.
Yeah.
That's important. Go to work for somebody, make yourself. You have to, the more confident you become is when you do something successful. If you don't do anything successful, then you're never going to be confident.
Yeah.
I've admit, and you can't, if you try one thing and it doesn't work, try something else.
I agree.
Go to work. Listen, I didn't graduate college. I was a lousy student. Okay, it's a miracle that I became a stockbroker. I asserted myself. When I got divorced the first time, I took $18,000, and by luck, I ran it into $2 million.
Wow. Was that through the markets?
Through the market.
Wow.
And then a friend of mine's father owned a brokerage firm, and my husband said, well, why don't you get a job? I thought, maybe I'll become a stockbroker. Mm-hmm. And I went to this man, I told him how much money I made, and he gave me a job. I didn't know that there wasn't any women on Wall Street, and it never entered my mind. And the truth of the matter is, I like being in a place where there's more men than women.
Yeah.
I always did well. People used to say, oh, they must have pushed you around and tried to get you in bed and this. They never did. I'm sure they tried to get me in bed a couple of times, and a couple of them I might have gotten in bed with, but more times than not, I didn't. I was very independent, and I had a lot of cute boyfriends during those days. But it's up to you. You have to be confident. You have to love your family. You have to love yourself.
Yes.
And you can't let people push you around. And usually it's women that try to push you around more than men. And men are, if you jump in bed with a guy the first time, you'll never see him again. So you could really like somebody, go, baby, I should sleep with him. He's going to have such a good time. He's going to want to be with me all the time. You'll never see him again. You have to play hard to get. And that's it. They have to want you.
Yeah, so we need a crash course on that for our female listeners.
But don't you agree?
I 100% agree with you, and that's why I want to dive into this segment, right? Where
if you call a guy every night and you want to see him, you'll never see him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's good when you throw parties and you invite them. and they come to parties, or, you have to do things that are important in your life. You
Mm-hmm.
can't sit around for somebody to make you important. You have to make yourself important.
Well,
You can do it.
exactly.
You can
So,
do it through your career.
yep.
You can do it through contacts. You can do it through things, how you live your life.
Yeah.
I painted. I just did a big art show. It was very successful. It's not my greatest attribute, but I've been painting all my life. You have to do things with your life. You can't sit around for somebody to come around and
Yeah.
change your life.
No, it's
And if
very
you
true.
and it's happened. Some girls got lucky and met a guy that came around and changed their life, and then when they went back, they had nothing. You have to make yourself count. You have to stand up and be
Yes.
spoken for. Stop,
100%.
you
So
know.
let's go back to the sleeping with. Don't sleep with them on the first date. When do you think it is appropriate to sleep with a new partner? When you've established a monogamous relationship?
Well, I don't know how monogamous relationships ever are.
Okay.
So it's hard to decide. I never really slept around. In fact, I should have slept with more people than I did, because I didn't sleep with enough people and I didn't get enough boyfriends. I made myself so hard to get, I never slept with them. And there were some really important people that were, if I had slept with them, they were like movie stars and everything. Said, I'll play hard to get. I
Yeah.
played too hard to get. I didn't get any of them.
Who would have been your dream person that you wish you would have slept with?
Well, there are ones that I had. The funniest thing is that I went with Fran Tarkenton. He was the quarterback of the New York Giants. I went with Tony Bennett. I went with a lot of, but they were my boyfriends.
Yeah.
I didn't just go out 2 or 3 times and sleep with them. I always made a point to make my life part of a relationship. I
Yes.
always, I never slept around.
No,
Maybe
I
I should
think
have
that's
slept around
great.
a little. I think guys really resent you if you do that.
I
You,
100% agree. And you take on that emotional stuff from them. It's an emotional kind of
if
spiritual
guys, if
act.
you play hard to get, they want you. If you're easy to get into bed, then you'll never see them again.
So
I
how
don't
do
know.
you
I would.
play?
This is just. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many girls do you think that slept with someone on the first date that the relationship turned into something?
I have only heard of one. I don't personally know any.
Okay, that's it. Probably one or two.
Yeah.
Guys actually resent you for doing that. They want to get you into bed, and once they get you into bed, you're the bad guy.
It is true, right? So how do you play hard? What's the advice that you would give younger single women of how to play hard to get without sounding like they're
with
playing games?
younger women, I would play hard to get. I'd be fun and charming and sexy, and mess with their head. Fool around. Play. Be attractive to them. Have fun times. Don't jump into bed. Once you jump into bed, so if you want the relationship to be over, that's the best way for the relationship to be over. Jump into bed with them.
So when do you jump into bed with them? Like after the relationship's do you suggest waiting 3 months, 6 months, or just when the relationship's established?
I was never promiscuous, and I always try to play hard to get.
Yeah.
And I'm not that hot for guys when I first meet them. They have to sell their act to me.
I
It's not
love
me just selling my act to them.
that's the
I go
key.
out. You go out with somebody, and the first couple of times they come on, and then you don't hear from them for 3 months. Bye bye.
Exactly. And so I feel like, a lot of people, because the dating culture is so difficult these days,
Must be impossible. I can't even imagine I haven't
it
had a real date
is.
in 10 years.
It is.
I
It's
go
very
out.
difficult because of these apps. People think like, oh, there's so much out there. And then they realize it's just a bunch of shit.
I was on a couple of dating apps. To me, they all look like axe murderers.
Which apps were you on?
I was on Tinder. I can't stand the ads. I always do things that they tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
So I just say Google me, and then that really turns them off because there's 5 million entries in me. I'm not
That's
gonna sit there. I
hilarious.
went the thing. I was born in Chicago and brought up in Beverly. And just Google me. It tells you everything.
Yeah.
That really turns them off.
Does it? Okay. So did you
Yeah, I
have
never.
any dates on Tinder?
No, I'm telling you, they look like axe murderers.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just such a strange thing because it's almost like shopping in a Sears catalog for men and women. It's bizarre.
That's probably better in Sears than it is on Tinder.
That's true. I can't believe I just referenced Sears. I don't even think they're in business anymore.
That's the best time to find them, when they're out of business. So there was one app that I wanted to get on. They wouldn't take me on the app. I can't think of the
Was
name
it
of
Raya?
Raya. They wouldn't
They
take
won't
me
let
on
me
Raya.
on. I tried like 4 years ago, and for some reason it just never went through. I'm like,
Sharon Stone put me up, but I was probably too old.
so are you
And
still on the
then
wait list?
I'm not on anything now. I can't. I
Yeah.
can't be bothered. First of all, I have very bad taste.
What do
I
you?
mean, I do not have good taste. I mean, I'm always attracted. Have you ever been catfished?
Yes.
I was catfished a couple of times. During COVID,
Yeah.
I was in Palm Springs with Clive Davis. We went down for 1 week. We were there 18 weeks. So some guy started catfishing me, and Clive, and I came to Clive, and I said, "This guy is coming on to me." Most of the guys they try to get, they're on an oil drill. Who's on oil drills? You say, "Where are you?" I'm on an oil drill in the middle of the ocean. The best way to do it is to say, FaceTime me, not send me a picture of yourself
Yep.
with a date. Once you say FaceTime me, you'll never see him again.
Oh, that's a good way to avoid being catfished for
I mean,
sure.
there are people that have never seen the person that they're dating. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people. What's the name of the place? Not Wells Fargo. Stop taking people coming in and sending money to guys all over the world. I had some guy. He was in some place like Saudi Arabia. I'll send you $5 million if you send me 50,000,
Oh,
and you can go to Saudi Arabia and go to the bank and tell them that you're my wife, and they'll give you $5 million. Thought to myself, are they insane?
but people are
Yeah.
getting scammed left and right. Like people are desperate these
Women,
days.
because there's so many women whose husbands have died and they have money
Yep.
and they're all alone.
So sad.
They don't have anybody to be with, and they're on the internet saying, "Oh, I'm dying to be with you. I would love to make love with you and hold you in my arms.
Yeah.
Send me $50,000." And all you have to do is say, FaceTime me. Don't say, because in the old days, you say, send me a picture with a date. So somebody would like airbrush a picture.
Yes.
Here I am, and with a picture of them.
I know the face. That's what I do. So if I'm gonna go,
There was some really, really, really gorgeous guy on Instagram
uh-huh.
running down the beach with the muscles and everything. So he somehow latched on to me. He was in Palm Beach, and then he was in Montecito, and he was in New York. He said, I think I'll come down from New York to meet you. Sends me some picture of himself, duded out, you know. And I said, send me FaceTime me. That was it. He wiped himself right off the internet, every picture.
Yep.
The only way to protect yourself is have him FaceTime you.
I always do the
Not send me a
FaceTime
picture.
because I don't want to. I want to make sure there's a vibe. Like I don't want to just, because I don't want to do a coffee date. People are like, let's meet for coffee. I'm like, no, I'd
I
rather
don't even drink
FaceTime.
coffee.
Yeah, and then we can
Invite
decide if it's a dinner date.
Absolutely. No, I wouldn't. But I got a lot of these. I had some of these convoluted things that were really sort of funny. That people would. I live in Saudi Arabia, but I have $100 million. But unfortunately, I can't get back into the country because they're holding my mother prison. Like convoluted stories like you never heard. Just say, FaceTime me.
So did anyone ever FaceTime you and they were legit?
No.
No.
There was one gorgeous guy. I actually saved the picture. I took a picture of the guy with my camera. I took a picture, but he took every picture off. And they assume other people's pictures, profiles, and they send you a picture having lunch with give you the date. They're super. You have to see somebody.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So since the apps are kind of crap, what is your advice to meet somebody in person?
You just the truth of the matter is the best way to meet someone is have somebody introduce you to them.
Okay.
But for some reason, no one ever introduces me to anyone. I always introduce them to someone because
Oh,
I know more people than. But I mean, I always ask people that have met somebody, how did you meet so and so? My cousin introduced me, my sister introduced me, my business associate. If you
yeah.
have somebody introduce you, and there's a lot of these dating services that introduce. I wouldn't pay $10,000 to meet someone. They have to pay me $10,000.
Yeah. Amen.
I'm going to pay something, pay a dating service. There's a lot of guys that I know that belong to these gay dating apps to meet girls and to meet guys. The gay guys are all on these gay dating services.
Well, that's the thing is like I used to be approached by these matchmakers, and I think my personal opinion is that they're scam artists because they'll set you up on dates with people that you don't really want to go on. They're just trying to hit a number to make them happy. They're saying, well, I promised you X amount of dates. And it's almost like you're just so judged. You know what I mean? Like they never pan out. And then they'll ask to come on the podcast, and I'm done with the matchmakers. I don't want to promote them. I don't want to, no. I just think it's a lot of men just looking for, a lot of wealthy men just looking for like a piece of ass is essentially what
Right.
it is.
I tell you, the funniest thing is I met someone along the line and she's wanted to fix me up. Where was I? Was I in New York? I think I was in New York.
Uh-huh.
And she sent me all these pictures with guys. And there was like a walker next to every one of them. I said, I don't want to be with somebody that's on a walker, or they superimpose the horse behind the guy.
Yeah.
The guy's in bed.
Wait, so what would your advice be to somebody like me who is 43, single, just moved to a new city? Should I just like go out to a bar by myself or go out to bars with friends?
First of all, I don't go to bars. Let's start with that.
Okay.
I'm not interested in going hanging out at a bar. I mean, even when I go to the Beverly Hills Hotel, I don't sit at the bar, you know. And a restaurant, you go to like Cipriani's, there's wall to wall girls sitting at the bar. There's
Yeah.
wall to wall. I think they all end up alone. Most of the guys aren't interested. They're looking for a hand job, a blow job, and they'll pass your act.
Right.
You have to meet somebody substantial. Somebody
Okay.
asked me, this was the last person, a girlfriend of mine, much younger girl. Now you have to understand, I'm 85 years old, so there aren't a lot of guys out there that are looking to go out every night and party and get on the yacht and go away for the summer.
Right.
They're sort of in the later years of their life. So this guy called me on the phone and gave me some sad story. I had a lung infection. I'm feeling much better now. I'm not looking to be a house. I'm looking to take care of somebody.
Right.
I'm going to go out and have fun. I thought, what? And I mean, they're just the most pathetic people. I mean, I just feel that some people are so desperate, they'll go out with anybody.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
And I think,
this one girl, my girlfriend took me to this girl, very pretty girl, lived in New York. And I waited about a month and I called her and I said, do you have anybody to fix me up? She said, no, I have nobody to fix you up with.
Yeah.
I'm too high profile. It's
But
got
that's
to be somebody
okay.
that wants to be at the top of the list, not at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? It's always like for me, I always live my life as just like, if it's in God's plans, it'll be.
Look, I do things that people really resent. I'm going to be in this wonderful magazine.
Yes. The Red Luxury Life magazine, right?
Yes, she's going to, I love her. She's a terrific girl.
She's
fun.
Yvonne.
Yes, Yvonne is great.
Yes, she's
amazing. She's been a great friend to me. And I'm going to be in the June issue.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. And she's using all the pictures from Fadil Barisha, who's an amazing photographer.
Okay.
And she's wonderful. And she makes a big effort. It's a lot of work. And she's a really terrific girl. And the magazine is very cool. and she's cool. You have to be able to do things that are cool. I bet you not one person ever calls and asks me out from the magazine.
Well, you never know. It's not out yet.
Nobody. I mean, I've been in a lot of magazines, and listen, I'm on page 6 a lot.
Yeah.
If you go into the New York Times and put in page 6 of Nikki Haskell, there are pages and pages of articles about me.
Yeah.
Not one person has ever called and asked me out.
So do you want a relationship, or it'd be nice if it came along?
You know, I'm a girl that's always looking for my knight in shining armor. So I always want a relationship.
Okay.
Will I settle for anyone? No.
Right.
The fact that I want it doesn't mean that it's there, or I will. I mean, I'm really particular.
Yep.
And I lead a very high profile life.
Yeah.
I can't be with somebody that's got a house in the country and wants to stay home and cook meals in his house. It just doesn't appeal to me.
No, it sounds boring for you.
I mean, I like to be on boats and travel to Saint-Tropez.
Yeah.
And I like to lead a very high profile life. It's a very small group of people, and they're not looking for me. They're looking for 20-year-olds.
Oh, yeah. So do you think women should marry for love or money?
Yes.
Which one?
Whatever comes along.
Do you think most men are actually faithful?
I don't think anybody's faithful.
Really?
I don't think. I'm surprisingly, I never cheated on anyone, but I think that everybody cheats. I think cheating is highly overrated. I mean, I know girls that have married the right guy and they got divorced. They should never have done it. They should have just closed their eyes. The guy will get over it. What do you give a shit?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it should be. I mean, I don't think it's right, but I don't think it's a complete reason to disrupt your family, your children, because he slept with some girl. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. I could see that. That's for sure.
I mean, I think that because I was married when I was 19, and my husband was cheating on me. I dumped him immediately.
Yeah.
But okay, this man and woman go out for dinner, and the girl says to him, "You know, I want a divorce." He said, "Darling, if you get a divorce, you don't get the boat, you don't get the car, you don't get the plane, you don't get the house in the Hamptons. You see how that man over there? He's sitting with his mistress." And she looks at him and she says, "I like our mistress much better."
Yeah. But it's true. That was like those videos, remember, where they would walk in and be like, when your husband's a billionaire, and they would walk in on him and you just turn a blind eye, you know?
There's so many people that I know that are billionaires have 2 families.
What?
2 families.
Do both families know about each other?
Eventually.
How do they even keep that?
The second one always knows about the first one. And the first one finds out about the second one. And you've got to make a decision. I love my life. I'm living this fabulous life. I'm with my husband a lot. And a girlfriend's a girlfriend. She'll be gone in no time. And they're usually gone in no time.
What? So you know a lot of billionaires that have 2. That's amazing. That's
have 2 families.
That's crazy.
Getty had 2 families.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Of course.
So you don't think men or women are faithful at all anymore?
No.
No.
I mean, I have to be faithful.
That's just me too. I just believe in karma so much. I just couldn't do it.
I mean, if I like somebody else, I'll get rid of the other guy.
Yeah.
For that guy. I've never 2-timed anyone. But I think I don't think that I'm right. I'm just thinking that's the way it is.
Yeah, I guess everyone's got to do what's best for themselves and what they think is right for them. You know, you can't control other people. You can only control yourself.
I'm surprised. I always think that guys are the ones that are cheating. But there's a lot of women that cheat.
Yeah. No, it's true. I know. I was going to try and join a Bible study. I'm like, maybe I'll meet a nice man that'll be loyal in a Bible study. But you just never know.
Well, fortunately, that wouldn't happen to me. I got a better chance of meeting him at a discotheque.
Right.
In a Bible study. I never met anybody on Passover.
Okay.
But I mean, actually, I don't meet anybody anywhere. I mean, I had a boyfriend once I met in the supermarket.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he was quite cute. Everybody used to call him Mr. Supermarket. He
Yeah.
was quite cute. He picked me up in the supermarket. He was dressed in a suit, and this is when I was a stockbroker. And I usually had a lot of boyfriends in the building that I lived in. And when I lived in New York, I had three boyfriends in one building. One of them was actually my fiance.
Okay.
And then in the Sierra Towers, I had 2, 3 boyfriends. And in the building I'm in now, I had one boyfriend.
That's
It's going downhill fast.
yeah. I know, but it is so hard, like the whole dating thing. It's just difficult. But I guess to
I
kind of
don't, I don't, I don't know about you. I'm not interested in dating somebody that lives in Pasadena or somebody that you have to be geographically desirable.
that's
Much
why
better.
that's why I never dated any guys that lived in Brooklyn. I didn't want to go there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to date somebody that lives in Westwood.
Yeah, exactly. They have to. I call them geographically unfuckable.
You're so right. It's
Yeah.
so hard. And actually, guys aren't that attracted to me. I don't think guys have ever been that attracted to me.
Why?
I
You're a
mean,
gorgeous woman.
I don't know. Maybe the fact that I was too out there that it might have turned them off.
Well, you were probably, a lot of men are insecure and intimidated.
But there's a lot of them that do like me. I don't know. I've never had any relationships that people say, is there anybody that you love and you miss and that you wish that they had gone through? Not really.
Yeah.
Then I don't think any of them would have turned. I don't think anybody was the love of my life. But I'm always looking for the love of my life.
Well, that's good. You never give up on love. But also, you've lived such a fabulous life that I think
My
maybe
life
finding
to live your,
somebody,
to live your life looking for a guy is not living your life. You have to live your
amen.
life. You have to do things that are fun. And I mean, I go to the south of France.
Yeah.
I travel. I go to Europe. I go. I mean, and some people just don't want to do that. I'm not going to sit around and lead some boring ass guy's life because he's got a few bucks.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true. It's very true.
I've always made my own money.
Yeah.
I've always supported myself, and I don't want to support them.
I hear you. Absolutely. Well, so Nikki, we have to wrap up. But I mean, I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours. But tell everyone where they can find you. I mean, most people know because you are famous, funny, and you are like the queen of advice.
I'm going to be in this magazine.
Yep, Red Luxury Life magazine.
Yeah, and that's going to be a fun magazine. I think I'm probably going to have a party for that.
Excellent. I want to go. Let me know, please.
And the fact that I have 1 million followers, I'm definitely going to promote it that way.
Yep.
And I mean, I'd love to meet somebody. I'm not bitter. I'm not diametrically opposed. But I'm not going to just date somebody to date someone.
Okay.
It's always nice to meet somebody sort of like part of your group.
I agree.
That knows the same people. If you have to introduce yourself to 1 million different people, it is what it is. Some people, I have friends that meet people morning, noon, and night. It just doesn't happen to me.
Well,
but I'm available. I don't think many people are looking for me.
No, well, that's not true. So you guys, if you know anyone that would be good for Nikki, please hit up the show and we will make sure that we vet them and then put them in touch with
What about
Nikki.
you? What's your love life like?
I just got dumped at a taco shop on Saturday.
Really?
Yes.
After how long?
Just 3 months, but it's okay. I think it was just a misunderstanding.
Did you meet him in the taco shop?
No. I had met him online. And he was a great person. We had a lot of fun together. I think there was just maybe too much alcohol involved. And he said some things that he hopefully regrets. And, but I wish him well. And I think he's a wonderful person. And he helped me transition greatly here. And, now I got one hell of a story to tell. So
Well, what's your story? Tell me.
Well, we're on air, so I'll have to wait till after air.
You can't tell your story on air?
Well, I just want to protect his privacy. He was a great person and, things just sometimes don't work out. But I figure if it's not going to work out, I think the ending should be worth writing about. So I was happy about it. But now I'm just focusing on obviously always focusing on my friends and my career and my family. And so now I get to go back to New York for a lot of the summer and just enjoy all my friends that I miss dearly. And so I think I love being single. I really do. I embrace it. I have
Have you ever been married?
never been married. No, I would love to be married one day, but I just don't
You've
want to
never
settle.
been married?
No.
And so do you want to have children?
I froze my eggs about 8 years ago.
What are you going to do with them now? Scramble them?
No. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to use them one day.
You want to have kids?
Possibly. I don't want to close the door to it.
Let me tell you something about kids. Kids are the group of people that never give up taking. They give nothing. Their whole life is spent taking care of them and they don't appreciate it.
I've
I
heard
think
that
that
a
one of
lot.
the reasons I'm so successful is I don't have any kids.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I hate to say that. I know that's sort of an anti-American thing to say. But I mean, I've seen so many of my friends' life get destroyed because of their kids.
yeah, and that's the thing too, is like you have kids and then you think like, oh, I don't want to be alone when I'm older. I'll have kids is what younger
Be alone
people
anyway.
think. Exactly. And then your kids are too busy to see you or they marry the wrong person and
Or they don't like you.
it's really sad. But I've seen it a lot too with people I know. And it's
Do
very
you have
sad.
any sisters or brothers?
I have a brother. He's married. He's got 2 little beautiful girls that are amazing. And he's happy. So we're happy. Everybody's happy. She's lovely.
So you can adopt their nieces. That's it, but it's good enough.
Exactly. So if it's in God's plan, it'll be. I'm just going to live my life and
My mother wanted me to be born married. It's all she talked about from the minute I was born.
really.
Marriage. You know, that's
Yeah.
all I ever heard about my whole life.
I was lucky. My parents never really pressured me. They wanted me to follow my dreams and do what I wanted to do and be happy. And so I never had that pressure. I was very blessed in that way.
When I was 19, my mother already told me I was an old maid.
Oh,
Pushed me into marrying somebody I couldn't stand.
but I feel like in that time period, people were just like, you had to get married. And that's why people just married the first person they saw.
And it's always been a disaster.
Exactly. Yep. It didn't end up well. So Nikki, tell us where people can find you. I know where to find you, but what is your Instagram, your social handles, all that
My
good
social
stuff?
handle is Big Nick, BIGNIKBH. Big Nick Beverly Hills. That's TikTok and Instagram. Or they can look me up at Nikki Haskell. I'm easy to find.
Yes.
I'm everywhere. I'm in the newspaper all the time in magazines. I'm looking forward to being in this magazine.
I
It's a
am
very
looking forward
pretty-
to that too.
Very pretty, glossy magazine. Actually, I'm very flattered that they put me in it.
Yay.
And I hope that I get a podcast. I don't want to do a podcast with people that are influencers. I only want to do a podcast with people that are important or stars.
I
Nobody-
love
don't
it.
think anybody who wants to waste their time with unimportant people. Get important, and then I'll be more than happy to be your friend.
So that's the motivation, you guys. Make sure that you're doing something that is adding value to this world, and that's how you become important.
But I think my book will be important.
Yes.
Hopefully, I'd like to do another TV show. You know, I mean, I'd like
Let's
to
make
do
that
another.
happen.
We'll see what happens.
I love it.
Yeah, I've always been ahead of my time. I came in too early. Now,
But it's never too late. And you're the one that preaches
Never
that
too
all the
late,
time.
yeah.
And I love
so
that.
so how do you see your life?
Oh my gosh, we could go on for hours, but we have to wrap up. I promise I will tell you all about this. I'm going to call you after and we're going to chit chat like 2 little giddy girlfriends.
When are we going to get together? I'd love to see you.
Hopefully ASAP. Let's schedule that once we wrap up this podcast and then we'll make that happen. So you guys go follow Nikki on Instagram,
Big
social
Nick
media.
BH.
Yeah, repeat it one more time.
Big Nick, BIGNIKBH. Big Nick Beverly Hills. Or you can look me up under Nikki Haskell.
Yes,
But I'm Big Nick BH.
yes, she's amazing. I've been following her for years. I love her advice. If you are looking for somebody to lift you up and give it to you straight, Nikki's your girl. So, Nikki, thank you so much for being here. And thank you to everybody who's listening, wherever you may be. Thank you for tuning into another episode. And we will see you next time to find out who's next.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms, and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.